Siwmai a chroeso I sesiwn 1 Cymraeg ail iaith Tygau ar y Treiglad Meddal. So session 1 of this series is going to focus on a Treiglad Meddal, the soft mutation. Don't forget as well, we have the Carlam Cymru website where the link is below, where you can watch and use previous videos that have been recorded on different topics. So, felly, amcanion y sesiwn heddi, the aims of the session today, I adolygu'r Treiglad Meddal, okay, so to revise the soft mutation, to look at what letters change, when they change, to see if we're confident with knowing what letters change to what letters, and also 2 specific instances when the soft mutation occurs. So the first one will be after nos, meaning night, and the second one there, defnyddio'r Treiglad Meddal ar ôl arddodiad, after prepositions as well. So we're going to start off then, okay, I ddechrau, we're going to start off by looking at the words we've got on the screen here. So we've got bendigedig, gwastraff amser, faes, wastraff amser, diflas, cas, prynu, diddorol, brynu, bendigedig, maes, ddiflas, and gas. Now, the reason I've given you these words, you will recognise straight away, these are words that you are familiar with, or at least most of them will be words you're familiar with. Now, you'll also notice that the words here have got 2 options. So, for example, you've got bendigedig and you've got vendigedig. You've got diflas and you've got ddiflas. You've got cas and you've got gas. Well, the reason I've done that is to show you that sometimes you're going to see the word with the mutation in reading pieces, for example, or when you're listening to somebody speak, and sometimes you're going to see the word without the mutation. Now, what is important is, by you improving your knowledge of the soft mutation, you'll be able to know straight away what that word is, when it's been mutated, and what the original word is, because you can always work backwards as well. So this is going to be really useful for you, especially in reading pieces when you're skimming and scanning and coming across words and looking at, for example, when a word may not quite be exactly what you thought, but a lot of the word is the same, maybe just the first letter is different. So let's start with a nice straightforward one. Bendigedig, brilliant, fantastic, okay? Sometimes we hear this as vendigedig. Now, that'll be one you're more familiar with, okay? But what that should tell you straight away is, in a soft mutation, a B changes to an F. Now, we're not always going to see it as vendigedig, but very often we will. Same with gwastraff amser. Now, in a soft mutation, with a soft mutation, the G drops. So it just becomes wastraff amser, same word. Okay, and don't forget you can apply this knowledge to other words which aren't on this list that begin with the same letters. So faes is at the top there. Now, faes is actually the mutated version of mice. So an M changes to an F, depending on if it's what's caused the mutation. Okay, diflas becoming ddiflas. Okay, we all use our mutations in class when we're using adjectives after achos maen. So achos maen, because it's, and then an adjective would need the soft mutation. So you may be familiar with using achos maen ddiflas or mae something yn ddiflas. Cas and gas. So the mutated version there is gas. Okay, so you need to work backwards to get to the original, which is cas. Prynu turns to brynu. Diddorol turns to ddiddorol, okay, so the double D there at the start, and those are there for you. So just be familiar with what letters change, and also be aware that when you're doing reading tasks, sometimes it'll be a mutated version as well. Okay, felly, y Treiglad Meddal, the soft mutation. Now, what is a soft mutation? Well, a soft mutation is a change in the spelling and the pronunciation of a word, okay? If you remember it as, the word before the soft mutation will have had to have caused that mutation. So always have a look at the word before and see if it's one that you recognise would cause it as well. Now, the soft mutation is where 9 letters potentially change to other letters. Now, if it's not one of these 9 letters, then it's not going to affect it at all. Okay, so on the left-hand side of the grid here, and a gwyrth in the green, I've got the original letters. These are the ones you need to be familiar with. So we've got P, T, K, B, D, G, R, N. Okay, so those are your original letters. And then yn yr oren, in the orange column, I've got what those letters change to. So if a soft mutation is needed, a P will change to a B. A T will go to a D, so a T goes to a D, yeah. A K goes to a G, a B goes to a V, D, V. A G, we drop it like gwastraff amser, goes to L, Pr goes to R, and M goes to V as well. Now, it only changes the first letter of the word. Okay, so achos mae'n fendigedig, we only worry about the first letter. It doesn't matter about the middle of the word or the end of the word. This only affects the first word, and it should make it easier for you to say. Okay, now there are different times when you may need to use a soft mutation in your work, but we're going to look at two examples today. The first one we're going to focus on is this one, the Treiglad Meddal ar ôl nos. Now, first of all, the word nos means night. Okay, now nos causes a soft mutation, which means the word after nos may need a letter change. Now, I've written may because it's not going to affect everyone. Okay, so if you look at the grid, we've got nos llun, nos mawrth, nos mercher, nos iau, nos gwener, nos sadwrn, nos sul. Now, all of those words there are written without a mutation, okay? Just nos and the word that would follow. So in Welsh, we say nos llun, Monday night, nos mawrth, Tuesday night. The nos, the night comes first, okay? And then on the right-hand side, where the arrow's pointing to, I've shown you what the mutated word looks like. So nos llun becomes nos llun. Nos mawrth becomes nos fawrth. Nos mercher becomes nos fercher. Nos iau stays the same. So Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday change. Nos iau doesn't change. Nos gwener, we drop the G, becomes nos wener. And nos sadwrn and nos sul stay the same because S is not in our soft mutation grid. Okay, so let's have a think. Nos llun goes to nos llun, right? L is in, double L is in the grid. M is in the grid, so it's going to affect a mawrth and mercher, and G is in the grid as well. So when you are writing those days of the week in your work, whether it's to say about what hobby you've got, what club you go to, then you need to make sure that you are using that soft mutation. So I'm going to say them now, and you can practice saying them after me. You can pause the video and you can make notes if you want. But yeah, I'm going to say them and you can practice saying them. Okay, so we've got nos llun, nos fawrth, nos fercher, nos iau, nos wener, nos sadwrn, nos sul. Yeah? Okay. So that's the first one that you need to be aware of. So when you've written your work and you're skimming and scanning through it to check for errors, just be mindful that every time you see nos, look at the word that follows and see if you've done your soft mutation. Okay, now there's not going to be loads of them in your work with this word, but we need to make sure we're getting it accurate. Okay. Right, the second instance and these will be a lot more apparent in your work. You'll use them a lot more often. Okay, arddodiad, the prepositions here. We've got am, ar, I, and o. Small words, the little words that we use in our work to link our sentences, to add details, and all four of these, so am, ar, I, and o, y pedwar yna, yn achosi treiglad meddal. They cause a soft mutation. Now, what that means is, if the word that comes after am, the word that comes after ar, the word that comes after I, and the word that comes after o, if they start with one of those letters in that grid, one of those 9 letters, then we're going to need to change that first letter. Okay, so what you can always do is when you're checking your written work, whether that be in class or in an exam, then you can always go back through your work after you've written it, look for these key 4 words, and then look at the word that follows and think, ooh, is it one of the letters that needs to change? If it's an S, no. But if it's an M, yes, I do need the mutation, and have I done it properly? Okay, so once again, I've got the grid glass fan hyn I ddangos I chi y newidiadau to show you changes. Okay, so for example, if you're writing in your work ar dydd, then you would change it to ar ddydd. Okay, like ar ddydd llun, ar ddydd Mawrth, for example. Ar meaning on in this instance, okay? O Caerdydd, from Cardiff. Well, O causes a soft mutation, so we should be writing O Gaerdydd. I dinas, I ddinas, and am 10 o'r gloch, am 10 o'r gloch. Okay, so am, ar, I, o. Remember, those four are really, really important ones that we need to focus on that cause a soft mutation. So if the word that follows starts with pa, ta, ka, ba, da, ga, ra, then we need to change it to a different letter, and it only affects that first letter still. Okay, right, now we've got 2 quick tasks here that we're going to try and do. Okay, so I want you to bear that in mind now. Let's just remind ourselves quickly before we move on. You've got these 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pa, ta, ka, ba, da, ga, ra, Those are the 9 letters that change. What do they change to? Ba, da, ga, v, th. Nothing. L, r, f. Okay, and then the word nos causes the mutation, and am, ar, I, o. So we got 5 things that we're dealing with today. Okay, so first things first, yn y task yma, ble yn y frawddeg? Where in the sentence do we need the soft mutation? So remember, cofiwch what we've just said. Nos, am, ar, I, o. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is, mae 5 brawddeg ar y sgrin. Okay, there's 5 sentences on the screen, and what I would like you to do is just to tell me where in the sentence does the mutation need. If you can go ahead and change it, even better. But first of all, let's focus on where the mutation happens, and then we're going to try and work out what it changes to. Okay, so what you can do now is you can pause the video, you can make some notes on this and try and work out ble yn y frawddeg ydy'r camgymeriad. Okay? Okay, ewn ni trwy'r atebion te. We'll go through the answers and you can check them against what you've got. So, rhif 1, ar dydd was the problem there because ar meaning on causes a mutation, soft mutation, Treiglad Meddal, and that should change to ar ddydd, okay, because one D changes to a double D. Rhif 2, mae'r ysgol yn cynnig sesiynau adolygu o 3 o'r gloch. O is one of those words again. Am, ar, I, o causes a Treiglad Meddal, so o 3 goes to o 3, okay, 3 o'r gloch. Mae Gwen yn dechrau am 4 o'r gloch. Am was the word here, am 4 o'r gloch. So Gwen starts at 4 o'clock. Dwi'n gadael o Casnewydd. O, once again, unwaith eto, o Gasnewydd, so the C changes to a G there. And the last one, a bod yn honest, rydyn ni'n mynd I canolfan Hamdden Pen y Bont heno. Rydyn ni'n mynd I ganolfan Hamdden Pen y Bont. Because those 5 words now, nos, am, ar, I, o, cause a Treiglad Meddal, a soft mutation. Okay, right te, a task olaf te. Right, beth dwi eisiau chi wneud, please? What I want you to do for this final task is look at the screen and decide, ydy'r brawddegau yn gywir neu'n anghywir? So have the sentences on the screen been mutated correctly, or are they still incorrect, and why? So for example, when you're giving you your reasons, I'd want you to say because R causes a soft mutation and a P changes to a B, for example. Okay, so we've got 5 brawddeg, rhif 1. Mae'n gas gyda fi mathemateg ar ddydd llun. Rhif 2. Rydyn ni'n meddwl am y sioe ar nos Gwener. Rhif 3. Dywedodd Jack bod y tren yn gadael am 5 o'r gloch. Rhif 4. Dwi'n siarad am broblemau yn yr ardal. A rhif 5. Dwi'n mynd I Caerdydd ar y penwythnos. Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is I want you to pause the video, okay, and I want you to tell me, ydy'r brawddegau yn gywir neu'n anghywir? Has the mutation after those 5 words, nos, ar, am, I, o, is the mutation after it correct? If it's not correct, then what should it be? If it is correct, why? Try and be as specific as you can when you're giving your details to show that you understand what letters change to what other letters, to what new letters. Okay, so pause the video now, have a go at this, and then come back for the answers pan rydych chi'n barod. OK, ewn ni trwy'r atebion te. Felly, rhif 1. Mae'n gas gyda fi mathemateg ar ddydd Llun. Cywir, that one is correct, because ar causes a soft mutation, the Treiglad Meddal, and in the Treiglad Meddal, d goes to th. OK, so ddydd Llun yn gywir. Rhif 2. Rydyn ni'n meddwl am y sioe ar nos Gwener. Anghywir, incorrect. Nos causes a Treiglad Meddal, a soft mutation, and therefore the G should have been dropped on Gwener, and it should be nos Wener. Okay. Rhif 3. Dywedodd Jack bod y tren yn gadael am 5 o'r gloch. Cywir. Am, one of the 5 words there, causes a mutation. P changes to a B, so P goes to B, so 5 o'r gloch yn gywir. Rhif 4. Dwi'n siarad am broblemau yn yr ardal. Cywir, eto. Am causes a mutation, P to B, broblemau. The original is obviously problemau. And rhif 5. Dwi'n mynd I Caerdydd ar y penwythnos. Anghywir. Dwi'n mynd I Gaerdydd. Once again, Treiglad Meddal, C goes to a G. So you can give yourself a mark there and work out how many you had correct. OK, diolch yn fawr iawn am ymuno ar y sesiwn heddi. Don't forget as well, one more time, that we've got the Carlam Cymru website where you can access all of the videos and recordings to help you. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Hwyl fawr.